This is Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on DAZN. Do you know how long it's taken to tie you down?
No, don't make it sound like that. You actually messaged me. Was it 2 weeks ago? Was it 2 weeks ago? And I said, didn't I say? I said I'm having a quick nap, right? Because I don't get to have chance many. So I had a nap. I woke up, and I said, let's go. And you was in the sauna. That's correct or not?
We were going to do something at the press conference. You specifically said wait till the press conference had finished for Prize Fighter.
But I still contacted you back.
Do other interviews, and then you messaged me at 8:30 in the evening.
And I know now, like you've had a bit of a glow up here, Oscar. And now you're in saunas. You've grown a beard. You're hard to get in contact with nowadays.
Such a lie. Such a lie. I've just listened to a brilliant couple of minutes actually about yours and Jack's relationship. I didn't know this. You first met in
on BBC
McDonald's car park.
Yeah, BBC Derby.
What's this doing for your credibility?
What do you mean?
BBC Derby, you meet your clients in McDonald's car parks.
But it's the truth. You can dress it up, but that's exactly what happened. Like, it was actually in Liverpool. Can't remember what fight week it was, but yeah, I met Jack. I'd met Jack before. Do you know what I mean? I met Jack before. I knew Jack before. We followed each other on social media. We spoke before. If ever I saw him at an event, I would say hello and stuff. But we met literally in a McDonald's car park. That's how it was all like shaped up, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been a brilliant journey since you two met. He said he was struggling promotionally, wasn't getting the opportunities he felt he deserved.
Yeah.
And now he's had them, and we've seen what he's doing.
Yeah.
And a massive fight open in the Co-op Live Arena here. It has been a brilliant start to your, it's been going a while now, but it's been brilliant, you two.
Yeah, it's the fourth fight in, but I'll be honest, right? Yeah, I would like to think I've added value to Jack's career, because I don't believe anyone works harder than me. But Jack's added a lot of value to me. Do you know what I mean? It works both ways, doesn't it? Like, you have to imagine I had a bit of... got back into the management game, and Jack was my first signing. So without Jack, I wouldn't have probably had the platform I needed to kind of restart. So I owe a lot to Jack. So that doesn't motivate me to work harder, but... When Jack says there, it fills me with a lot of pride when he says, you know, it's his favourite time he's had in his career so far. It's most definitely mine. Which, believe me, I've had a lot of highs in boxing. I've had some down moments as well, like everybody does. But for me, working with Jack, it's the biggest privilege I could possibly have, because he's the best possible person to work with.
Yeah, and it's only going to get bigger from here on in.
I'd like to think so, yeah.
20 minutes is how long it said you took to sign this fight. But prior to that, I know there was talk of Arnold Barboza, and there would have been some other stuff in the works. Why was it Regis Prograis?
Because we were trying to make the Arnold Barboza fight, and he was being very unrealistic with money. But I understand it, so I don't want to slag Barboza off, because I understand he's in a position where he's number one, but he's not fighting any. Listen, he boxed Sean McComb. Sean McComb won the fight. So he's like thinking, if I come to Manchester, I'm going to get smashed to pieces by Jack, and I'm going to lose my number one ranking. So I understand why he wanted obscene amount of money, unrealistic money, but what I don't like is when he says, oh, I want the fight. You don't want the fight, because I could say, I want to fight, I don't know, Conor McGregor in a cage, and say I want 10 billion to fight him. Well, you don't really want to fight someone. That's probably a terrible analogy, but what I'm trying to say is he outpriced...
It makes sense.
Outpriced him. Anybody can say they want to fight somebody, like on social media, okay, I want to fight him. And then they want stupid amounts of money to participate in the fight. And Frank Smith said to me live on we'd actually had a conversation briefly about Regis Prograis a few weeks back. Jack and Regis were meant to fight only a couple of years ago. But it fell through for whatever reason. So I think it's kind of destiny. They're going to cross paths. I respect Regis a lot. I can't really pretend like whether I wind him up at the press conference or not. But I respect him a lot. I respect him as a man. He's a good family man. He's a good guy, to be honest with you. And he's a tremendous fighter. Two-time world champion. And he deserves a lot of respect for what he's done. I believe if he would have been with a promoter, say like Eddie, he would have been a star in the sport. But he's had a different kind of path. He went in the Super Series. I thought he was unlucky against Josh Taylor. And another day he could have got the decision there, and his career would have gone another way. He would have been a huge star off the back of it. I know I'm waffling, but yeah. So when Frank Smith originally spoke to me about Regis, we kind of said, yeah, I'm interested in that fight, but we want something that's going to progress Jack to get him closer to what he wants to do and become a world champion. Then Barboza started asking for $1 trillion to fight Jack. So then Frank got me in an interview on IFL, and he said that I said to him, "Who do you think?" Open, because I like doing live negotiations. I think it's good. I think it gives the people an insight as to what it's actually like. So I said to Frank, who do you think is best for Jack to fight next? He said Prograis. I agreed, and within 20 minutes the fight was all agreed, because Jack will, when fighters say they will fight anybody, Oscar, honestly, when I say this, I've never worked with well, I have, but Jack will fight anybody. Absolutely anybody, and he's so excited to fight, because Jack's career suffered with inactivity. So now Jack's like, he's just come out the back of a camp. Not sure of he's got a very supportive wife, because he had no honeymoon. They had no honeymoon. They literally got married, and then we done this fight like a week later. So it's a very busy time in the Catterall household.
I wish I could ask Mrs. Catterall if you actually envy. Or not envy, if you don't like Sam Jones because of the
Lauren,
Jack Catterall activity.
Lauren can come here. You can bring Riley as well. Riley can have a debut as well on the Stomping Ground. Come here, Lauren. Watch the glass behind you.
Me and Sam Jones have a love-hate relationship.
No, it's not love-hate. Come on, be honest.
He loves Jack and you hate him.
No.
Yeah, no.
No, don't say that, because all the comments now will absolutely batter me.
I'm only joking. There's a lot of conversations that all day, every day, isn't there? Trying to get fights done and stuff, but you do work very, very hard. So
I'll be perfectly honest. The Josh Taylor negotiations took years off my life. Genuinely, if you look there, do you know when people say I'll put polish on my hair? Please look closely. I am very grey. It's put serious mileage on my what's it? The clock. It's put a lot of miles on the clock. But this fight here, 20 minutes.
I didn't even hear anything about this fight till it was done.
So to be fair, you've not suffered any of this because it was just literally, Jack, do you want to fight Regis Prograis at the Co-op Live, and it was done really fast. But to be fair, Lauren's incredibly supportive of Jack, because listen, I'm not going to dive into other relationships, but I can imagine some other partners wouldn't be too pleased about because you have to imagine childcare. It's like she's looking after Riley. Riley's at 3 years old, so it's very difficult, because now Jack's straight back into camp, no honeymoon, but Jack's on the crest of a wave at the moment now. He's got to capitalise on his success, and he's on the best run of his life at the moment. So there's absolutely no effing way Regis Prograis is going to come to Manchester and take that away from Jack while he's in the process of securing his family's future.
Absolutely not. Can I ask you one more thing? Where is the potential honeymoon after August the 24th?
Benidorm.
We literally had like a couple of weeks in between, and we squeezed a wedding in by chance, and then we were straight back into camp. So
I think there's going to be there's going to be some time after this fight. Listen, God willing, Jack wins the fight. We've got a bit of a plan, but he has to get through Prograis first. But I'm sure there's going to be time for a family holiday, and I will leave them all alone for like a week or two.
I bet you can't wait.
Lauren will kill me, so yeah.
I bet you can't wait.
I'll try my very, very best, yeah.
Lauren, thank you so much. Thank you.
Riley's made a debut on the Stomping Ground.
The first of many when she becomes a pro herself. So massive fight, massive opportunity.
Yeah.
I said to Jack about thinking ahead, and I suppose he can let himself think, but you also have to know the job that's in front of you.
Yeah.
But when the division's so good, everyone is going to mention. He'll do interviews today where people mention 5-6 other names.
But it's
That's
no
just
good.
how boxing works.
I know it is, but do you know what? I know it sounds like I'm lying, but even I don't like looking past. Like, I have an idea in my head how this year's going to go, right? How this year's going to pan out. But I don't like overlooking fights and thinking, let's do this fight next, because ultimately you've got a two-time world champion in Regis Prograis stood in front of you who needs to win as well. He's got a young family as well. So you can't be overlooking opponents, especially at this level. So Jack Catterall's got a job to do on the 24th of August in this absolutely unbelievable venue at the Co-op Live. But I do believe that Jack Catterall is going to do a right job on Regis. I hope he's not standing around with that enormous man that he's been walking around with. But yeah, I do think Jack's going to do a job on him.
Yeah. You're safe for now there, tucked in the corner, just doing
I was looking forward to the
piece.
press conference until I saw that big fucker.
Just moving on, I want to talk about Sami.
Yes,
so
Sami.
I've met Naz before, obviously know Adam quite well.
Yeah.
Meeting Sami, he is
Genuine.
lovely, genuine, down to earth.
Yeah.
And he signed to Misfits, which I said, look, because of what your father has achieved, you are going to get people who might be questioning, is that the right route for you? He completely understood that, and he said, no, I'm just going to do this. I guess take it step by step and see what happens, roll the punches a little bit. But he's definitely a character, and there is something exciting in Sami.
Listen, when Sami's 25 or 26 years old, so he's a young man, but he's had no fights, right? He's had no amateur fights, no professional fights. He's at a stage where he could have turned pro, but the contract was a long time, right? So Sami's looked at these contracts. It's an 18-month contract with Misfits. We're going to have loads of fun, and his name brand will get a lot bigger starting off at Misfits. But Sami's also not delusional. He's so grateful, as is Adam, for his last name. But don't think for 1 second that Adam's not got ability. Sami and Adam haven't got ability. Sami's got ability, trust me, he can dig. He's got like a freaky power, like you will see in this debut. If that guy, Jesse Clark, if he comes to fight Sami, he will be knocked out in the first round. I promise you that. If he comes and tries to have he's a bit more sensible about his work, because neither of them have ever boxed before. So this isn't like an unfair, if anything, that guy's 3 weights bigger than Sami. He's a lot bigger. Sami's actually naturally, he shouldn't really be boxing that weight, but Sami just says, look, if that's the weight they want me to fight, that's the weight I'm going to do. But you will not meet a more beautiful person than Sami. He's such a down-to-earth, really, really good lad. I'm extremely proud of him.
Yeah, mate, it was a pleasure to meet him for the first time. So you mentioned the fact that he's not had much experience in the ring. Could we be seeing someone who does this thing in Misfits and perhaps after a year, 18 months, dips out and then enters the professional scene that way? I know Misfits were talking about perhaps doing pro fights themselves.
You don't know. But ultimately, it's going to be down to Sami. He might decide after a year he don't want to box. Like, you look at Sami, he's got a face.
He wants to act.
He's got a face for television, Sami. I don't want to say that to gas him up too much, but he's got a face for television. So it's up to Sami. Whatever he does, he's going to have that. He's going to have a decision. But one thing's for certain: Sami can have a tear up. He can have a tear up, and he's going to bring a lot of excitement to that game. But I look at Misfits now at any weights, and I don't believe any one of them beat Sami. How about that?
Can't wait. Bring on Dublin.
Let's go. Cannot wait. KSI in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Is it a handicap match or is it?
Well, what do you make of the 2v1?
I
thought it would be
Misfits,
he has to beat both.
Misfits
if he knocks out the first man in, then that's it.
Yeah, it's like it's carnage, isn't it? It's absolute carnage. But it's going to be fun to be a part of. Because I know, listen, Misfits, it's going to be a very full arena from early doors. I love how they're all in at like 7 o'clock, as soon as 6 o'clock, whenever the doors open, it's going to be ram packed. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to be a part of the carnage.
Yeah, enjoy Misfits for what it is, carnage, like
Absolutely.
You said. Can we talk about that little Joshua versus Dubois clip? I know it happened and there was a few rumours flying about. Is it me?
I love it.
Did it not seem very Daniel Dubois?
No, I love it. Daniel Dubois has lacked confidence for years, right? He's now, I think, starting to believe in himself, that he's got freak strength, he's got a good jab. Daniel Dubois, listen, I've given Daniel Dubois a bit of stick over the years, but I told him when he finished against Joe and Joe stopped him, I says, if you get your act together, get your confidence together, you're going to be a heavyweight champion. So yeah, he's gone on and he's on this really good run at the moment. I think Frank Warren deserves a hell of a lot of credit for how he's promoted him and how he's
calling him the best promoted fighter in the sport.
He is. I believe he is the best promoted fighter in the sport because a lot of fighters will see that, especially the way the Usyk fight ended. Also, the fact that he kind of not took a knee, but I don't know. But all I know is Don Charles, his team need a lot of credit, and Frank Warren needs enormous credit for bringing him back because he's now, well, he's technically the heavyweight champion of the world, isn't he? And Joshua's the challenger. But still make Joshua the favourite in that fight. But I think Daniel Dubois is going to be a live dog. But as you're saying about the face-off, I like it. I like it when Anthony Joshua gets edgy and says, I'm going to smash that chair over your face or whatever he said. And Daniel Dubois is like, if you want to go now, we can go now. Because it's like Frank Warren, do you know, like Daniel Dubois has got this little twisty thing. Do you know, like an action figure? Yeah. When you twist it and it starts going, and it starts yapping. That's like what Frank Warren did before the interview.
It's like he's put a couple batteries in him and
it's like he put a fucking two Duracell batteries in the back of him, twisted his back like this, and then Daniel Dubois started chirping. I thought it was brilliant. I think it's great. You've got to show confidence in that fight. Don't be intimidated by the aura of Anthony Joshua. But like what I say, I still favour AJ in the fight, but I think it's going to be a tremendous 4 to 6 round fight.
Yeah. Well, he does have, like you said, an aura that kind of follows him about AJ. Do you know when people use the old AJ as back? I know that's something he himself is not a fan of because he will be adamant that
the corporate
kind of never left.
The corporate AJ. Now
I think people forget behind the two fighters, there's always actually a man, and I guess AJ felt disrespected, so he felt like he had to stamp his authority a little bit.
I don't know. I think it's like I don't like. Listen, you don't want to disrespect AJ by saying the old AJ, but AJ was, when he first come on the scene, was in a team like he's getting Lucozade deals, Hugo Boss deals, and he has to say the right thing. He can't just like F on a camera and say to Daniel Dubois, I'm going to smash chairs over your face and stuff. But I like this AJ where it's like he's being himself. He's being himself, and I think he's also with AJ. I think he cares a bit less now what people think of him. And I think again he's in the run of he's in a tremendous run of form. He's training well at the Ben Davison's gym, and they've brought the best out of him again. It's fantastic to see. AJ's given us fans some of the best nights we will see in British boxing, and it's largely because of him.
Mate, can't wait. Bring on September the 21st. One more thing, Sam, just before I let you go. What's your schedule like for the next couple of weeks? I feel like you manage every promising young talent in Britain, so I feel like it's very hard to keep track of what's going on.
There's a lot of promising young fighters, that I don't manage, but there's also a hell of a lot that I do manage. So we've got Mark Dickinson fighting. I'm flying out to Japan next week for Osaka for the prize fighter tournament. Huge opportunity for Mark Dickinson to change his life. After that, we've got Adam Hamed at the O2 Arena making his UK debut. After that, we have Sami Hamed. We have Jack Catterall against Regis Prograis here at the Co-op Live Arena, and then we have Sami Hamed making his Misfits, making his first ever boxing appearance, and then after that we will have Dan Toward, who I believe is going to be fighting on the 13th of September. It's just going to keep coming. Jamie Moore's got a very busy gym now. Jamie Moore can't go on holidays either. Never mind Lauren and her honeymoons. Jamie can't go on holiday either.
And that's your fault as well, Sam.
Yeah, nice one, bro.
Cheers, mate.
Nice one.